y'all, it's Miss Holdren here. As you can tell by my voice and the fact that I'm not with you all today, I'm a little sick, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to go over order of operations with you all just one last time before you take your test today. Now, what we really want to remember when we're looking at order of operations is going to be that acronym PEMDAS. We want to keep this in mind as we're solving all of our equations. Now, the first thing that we're going to look at and solve for in our equations using order of operations is going to be parentheses, and that's what our P stands for. The second thing is going to be our exponents. So after we look at what's in parentheses and we solve for that, we're going to solve for any exponents. So that's going to be like 2 squared. The next thing that we're going to look for is going to be our M in PEMDAS, and that is going to be our multiplication. And we really want to make sure that we have already solved anything in parentheses and any exponents before we take a look at any multiplication. The next thing that we're going to look for in our PEMDAS acronym in our equation is going to be any division that's happening. The next thing we look for is our A, and that is going to be any addition that is going on in the problem. So at this point, we've already solved anything in parentheses, any exponents, any multiplication, and any division. After we solve that addition, or possibly before we solve the addition, we're going to solve any subtraction to finish off our PEMDAS acronym. And now there is one really important thing that you all have to remember when you are doing order of operations and you are using this PEMDAS acronym. And that is that when you are solving the, Miss Holder messed up there. When you are solving the equation, you want to look from left to right. We are solving from the leftmost thing to the rightmost thing. So for instance, if I had 2 sets of parentheses in there, I'm going to solve the parentheses that are furthest left before I've solved the ones that are furthest right. And another thing you really need to remember with that is that multiplication and division, they're married, they're equal. Division, if it comes left in the equation before multiplication, you're going to solve that division first. And the same goes with addition and subtraction, they're married. If subtraction comes before addition in the equation, you're going to solve that subtraction before you solve the addition. So those 2 steps go hand in hand. They can be flipped. You just have to make sure that you're doing the parentheses and exponents before any of that for sure. So now I want us to take a look at some practice problems. The first one we have is 4 times 1 times 1 plus 5. And the first thing we want to look at that using our PEMDAS is our 1 plus 5 in parentheses. That gives us 6. And that gives us 4 times 1 times 6. And we're going to get from this 4 times 6. And of course, our final solution for that using order of operations is going to be 24. The next thing I want us to look at is going to be 2 squared minus 2 plus 6. So the first thing we look at using that PEMDAS, there's no parentheses. So I'm going to move on to the exponents, and that 2 squared is going to equal 4. We're going to pull out that 4 minus 2 because it doesn't matter that addition is before subtraction in PEMDAS. It just matters that subtraction is leftmost. So we do 4 minus 2 gives us 2. 2 plus 6 gives us 8. So now we're going to take a look at an equation on your own. And I just want you to do this on your own paper to get yourself ready for the test. So that's going to be 5 squared plus 2 times